Hey guys, Bob Gary here, Ancient Reproductions. Today I want to go over some things on safety. I've been noticing some people, asking about safe handling and stuff, and it just made me remember that I don't know if I've ever done this. So real fast, let's get to it. Number one in my mind, you really should have some sort of hook to essentially be an additional arm's length from any animal that you're working, right? Makes a lot of sense. You can tap train, and what that means is get the animal used to being touched with something inanimate like the hook when it's not feeding time, so that it realizes it's not feeding time and adjusts its behavior so that it's not after a food item or you in this case. So tap training, you can look that up. Moving, reaching things. I'm a snake hook lover. Moving on to these are rusted together. Bad example, but you guys know what they are. These are 18-inch hemostats, and so around feeding, I would love for you guys to have something that distances you from holding rodents or anything like that. So this is going to get you at least 18 inches away, which is okay, but you can, if something allows you to get a little further away that is strong enough to support your food item, I would consider that too. Just really safe to put, again, distance between you and the business end of your reptile. What I have below me is, everybody knows this is I think what, 27-gallon tote. So let's say something happens, you get bit, it's not good, you just need to put the animal somewhere. Or let's say something hits the floor, it's really excited and you just need a place to put it. This is an easy way to do that for 10 bucks. I pre-drilled a bunch of these. I use these as for all sorts of purposes, but having at least one of these around is really good. So now we've got, let's see, review real quick. Keep some distance between you. Feeding, emergency splashdown and contain, let's say. And then let's say you get bit, okay? Let's say you get bit and you're wrapped. We don't want that to happen. Most of the time that's not going to happen. If you get bit, oftentimes the animal's gonna let go immediately. But let's say somehow, you're wrapped and, you have to deal with that. Personally, I keep alcohol. This is basic rubbing alcohol with just a spray squeeze bottle lid in it that they all seem to fit this bottle design. So I use this normally for cleaning a lot, doing my hands, doing hooks, tweezers while I'm feeding, etc. And it also works for getting snakes, irritating the mucous membranes and the interior of a snake's mouth, so that it will, probably I'm sure lizards too, so that it will release you without tearing you up. So really effective. It doesn't take a lot. You don't have to hose the heck out of the animal, but one shot in and around, around that mouth, or a couple, is probably going to start motivating that animal in a few seconds to let you go. That's what we want. Something else that I required for years of myself and everybody that worked for me when I did a lot of a lot of giant snakes, a lot of berms, was wearing some sort of straight blade knife. Worst case, right? And this one actually has some teeth marks and missing string from an episode I had in 95 or 96, where I reached into a dark container. I was rushing to finish my day. I had the last snake of the day. It was about 100-pound Burmese python female, and she had a record of not seeing very well. I called her doofus because she just, probably politically incorrect, but she was just a little off, which even exacerbated the issue. So here she is in a dark container. I've been feeding her. I clean her. I'm ready to put her back. I don't even think I fed her, actually. I didn't feed her, but I just was ready to put her back, and I got too hasty. Opened the lid of the container, put my hand in too quick, not allowing her to adjust to the light. Bam, she bites and wraps me. And so I've got a 100-pound berm on me. I did have somebody else at the house that helped me. But what I did with this was not to kill her, but if you have a big snake on you, or any snake of any size, literally I just put the sheath in her mouth. So when she released, I didn't lose ground. And I think I put that in our bottom jaw, and we worked at it, and I did not have alcohol at that time. And, kind of had to, the berm saliva actually numbs your arm, can numb your skin, and so you don't really understand you're applying too much tension when you're trying to remove that. And so it wasn't as nice as it should be, but it got it done. It helped me have any other damage. We got her off, so I didn't have to resort to that. Worst case, of course, it's a knife. You can, you could use it if it was a terrible situation and you've got to stick the animal, hurt the animal in some way to really get its attention. You've got that option. I'd rather have you have the option than not have the option. Okay, cheap and easy to keep around is just one of these simple first aid kits. Just hang it up in one of your rooms. Always have it close by. It's going to have the basics: bandages, tape, gauze, all that good stuff. And one thing I did out of order, but I wanted to show you this is a divider, right? And so one of the things that will help you with a larger snake not have a bad situation to begin with is being able to leave the animal in the enclosure and just divide it right from left to right. So imagine this is the front of the cage vertically, and you slide this in and it drops down into, this would be your piss board, so to speak. Your front litter dam would be right against here. And when that slides in, drops down, then you can slide this piece in, and bam, you've got a full division now. You can safely service the other cage, the other half of the cage, and you never even had to take the animal out. To me, I've had 95-pound girls work my giant snake collections, and knock on wood, we never had anybody get bit at all, and I was the only one that took a bad bite in the history of my entire business, and that was that 100-pounder. Worst case, if you get bit, and it's a good bite, even a hard bite in a hand can do this to you. Be very careful and go ahead, and what I would suggest is, some people can get quite anxiety ridden after a bite like that, is really take care of yourself medically, apply some pressure to the bite and relax. I would get in a chair, and hopefully somebody's there with you, and they can call or they can observe you and make sure you're fine. But again, it's all very individual how you react. But I've seen some people almost go into a shock type behavior after getting a bad bite, and so rarely ever happens, but when it does, you want to be prepared. So just remain calm. You'll be fine. That 100-pounder, once we got her off of me, it was gauze and bandages, and I was ready to go, and not that long. It hurt like hell, but it wasn't the end of the world, and I learned a big lesson. So hope that helps, guys. Safety, it's very important. Again, let's go real quick. Hook to keep arm's length. Feeding, something to help you feed. I like a straight blade knife, worst case scenario, in the room or on your person, even better. Spray bottle of alcohol, it's great to have any way to clean. Basic first aid kit, 28-gallon tote or something like this, or more of these. Frankly, they're so cheap. Have a few, and if you can have a cage or an enclosure with a divider to begin with, I think you're going to be 3 times safer and avoid problems from even happening in the beginning. So take care of you guys.